Welcome back, FOF family. We're here with RLS versus SGR, the Ruby Light Up Sketchers, and the Reborn team. I'm back with Torres. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Game one was a certified banger. We thought it was gonna be one-sided once that soul was taken, but I mean, Pog showed they almost got it back from the Jaws defeat, but Bob Jones just would not let up.
He would not let the game be thrown. That is for sure. Now, getting into this one, we have Street Smurf returning to the lineup, Warplaque and Frozen, who have been probably one of the best bot lanes in the league, and RLS has been improving. So I'm excited to see how this matchup is going to play out, and if RLS can take an upset victory today.
Definitely looking for that upset victory. RLS is only at 2-7, while SGR is in the upper echelon, running 6-3. But I mean, an upset here would look pretty good for them. A lot of morale.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so how the draft is shaping up right now, we see Rumble, who's still staying that permaban red side pick, and Kaisa being taken away, which is probably an 80 carry of that MK Strone has been proficient at, and I'm happy to see it taken away. Now, and then on the other side, we have Victor, Tristana, and Camille.
We do, and with the first pick being picked up was going to Volibear, or at least being hovered on the side of RLS. We did see that in the last game. It's a good standard pick around the B A tier, as the AP junglers have been banned out from the side of SGR, not adamantly not wanting to play against that, as they are both very strong in this current meta. We'll see what else gets picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Birds Aren't Real and versus Street Smurf, this is a matchup I cannot wait to see. Street Smurf has been a kind of up and down player this season. Definitely hasn't been as consistent as he was when he was on POG, but him taking that Lucian pick, that is something that he's been really, really strong at, and I'm happy to see him back on it. He's been playing that since season 1 of FOF days.
I've been playing on it. It looks like a Kayn. A lot of Kayn's been picked into Volibear. I'm not very keen into the matchup. I don't really like the Kayn Volibear matchup on the side of Kayn, but I mean, if it's a comfortable pick, it's a comfortable pick.
I mean, absolutely. Kayn is probably just burger flip epitomized. That champion he is extremely inconsistent. So him being picked in this matchup, I really, really hope he takes blue Kayn now that Jinx and Orianna have been locked in. Red Kayn seems to be really, really weak with how his items have been hit and how slow his scaling has been. So if this is a blue Kayn, I'm really, really excited. If this is a red Kayn, I'm kind of down on it.
Yeah, kind of down on it, but I mean, from the side of RLS, there is some good drafting going on. We have this, not a standard draft per se, but I mean some good picks coming in. Of course, the Lucian probably is not going to be the ADC, will probably be the answer to Orianna. Orianna, knowing this, still confident enough to pick it into the Lucian, though.
Yeah, interesting teams are still picking Seraphine. Seraphine has suffered a lot from the Moonstone changes, and just the strength of the champion hasn't been the same as it was previously. If this is a matchup into Orianna, that's going to be a big damage gap. That's going to be on the side of RLS. Now, they do have a coaching staff, I believe, so they've been going for really, really standardized, easy to execute compositions, and this is something of that avenue that they've already selected so far.
It's definitely comfortability. I mean, the Lucian does get a lot of just free reign with how much control the Seraphine has over the chokes. I mean, it might just be a comfortable pick he likes to play on, even though we don't know if this is going to be a Seraphine support or if it will be a Seraphine mid, as we have the Lucian hovered in. Don't know if it'll be mid, top, or ADC. There's all these flex picks that can be done going through, and without the second phase of the draft, we won't really know until it's finalized.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are attempting to pinch that support pool, with Thresh and Alistar being taken away. These are probably one of the two top tier supports in the meta right now, so that means both support players are going to be falling back on kind of tier 2 avenues, and with Royal now taken away, this is a lot of support bans coming through.
Indeed, a lot of support bans. So you were talking about earlier that SGR's bot lane has been looking very good lately. I mean, probably focusing them as 2 members rather than 1 member in the bans, I mean, will be good. I mean, we'll see where this really plays out. I mean, as the last ban comes out from RLS, it looks like they're trying to get rid of some playmaking on the side of SGR as the Alistar's banned out. Looks like Gwen's actually going to be banned as well.
Gwen being banned is interesting. I don't believe we've seen a Gwen yet in the league so far. She seems to be has already developed more of a cultist following. She's not generally super popular. I haven't seen her very often, so it would have been nice to have seen her picked up so far today, but she is going to be taken away, and Tom Kent's are still available, so I expect that to be what RLS will go for. And with Rakan being locked in, a really, really aggressive bot lane incoming, as the AD carry has not been selected yet unless Seraphine is going there, so that could just be a Xayah Rakan.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Azai Rakan is a very strong bot lane in whatever meta is played. If you're very comfortable in those champions, you know what's up, how it's going to be played. As the lane will be telegraphed pretty easily. We'll see what the other RLS has to answer that in support role. Looks like it'll be Lulu Jinx.
Yeah, Lulu being selected is a really, really good good pick here. They now have the Whimsy for the Rakan engage, really strong, and the Ornn. So they RLOS is continuing their trend. They pick extremely standard compositions: tank top lane, tank jungle, AD carry mid, support damage, and that's basically how they've been rolling. So I think they've selected a really strong comp, and if they manage to play up to their standards, they could easily have outdrafted here, depending on what this last pick is from SGR.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of RLS's strengths has been their draft, where their drafts can be one-dimensional. They do play a pretty standard style, whereas other teams will kind of branch out and go for a more like a dive or a kill your, just put all your eggs in one basket and play towards this one style, or just branch out. But I mean, a jack of all trades is a master of none. RLS is certainly picking up some speed.
Yeah, and it looks like they have got us with the good old coin flip. Warplaque is most likely going to be taking that Lucian in the bot lane with Rakan support. Seraphine, oh, actually, well, he could be taking the Lucian in the top. I have no idea where these people are taking these champions. They have flex pick galore. We will wait until we get in the game to figure out where they're actually going. But it looks like they could have gotten a draft advantage if RLS is of the same mindset as us and do not know who's playing what.
Yeah, I mean, I will put the draft advantage to RLS, but I mean, we'll see what the skill levels entail onto the Rifts.
Yeah, Rakan is definitely support. That we know.
I don't know, man. You could switch it up.
All right. So it looks like that is going to be the Silas going into the top lane with Kayn in the jungle, Seraphine as your mid laner, and then Lucian and Rakan in the bot. Lucian is not a popular bot laner, so seeing him go back into that role is definitely a throwback. And now we have a little bit of an invade being set up.
A little bit of invades being set up. Maybe trying to catch someone out, get that early advantage, get the ball rolling on the side
Oh
of
no.
SGR, but
No, look where Ornn is standing. If they walk up, he's gonna have to flash. So let's see if they're actually gonna go. It looks like they are. That is gonna be the Silas walking up there. He's gonna spot the Ornn. It looks like everyone else is gonna opt for the base, and they're not gonna get anything out of that. That was a good kill. That would have been a kill opportunity if they had all walking up. But it looks like they are just gonna get that late back in and really not get much of an advantage from that play.
Yeah, kill opportunity. Of course, if they do end up going for that kill and going for the chase, the spawn timers will be a little bit messed up. The Kayn will be behind on his clear, but I mean, if they did it a little bit earlier, I think they could have gotten that kill. Definitely could have gotten that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to note this difference in the rosters from what we have saw on the graphic. Gay for Girls is the one in on the support, and she is going to be piloting that Lulu. So, different person, same consistent strategy, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, of course. We see that Kayn has actually opted towards the blue start rather than going for a Raptor start, which he's one of the common champions to do.
Yeah, it looks like if he, I mean, you can assume that he may have assumed that Volibear is starting on that red side, so you don't want to have gone, you won't be able to get your Raptor invade until the second Raptor spot, so at that point, going a blue side path isn't going to be as punishing. But look at this pathing from Bengu. He is going from a 3 camp into gank. He'll be really far behind if this doesn't end up working out.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it right now. It looks like, I mean, Pengu really going for that level 3 kind of just gank, probably on the top or mid side of the map. But I mean, it's a little bit of peculiar clear, but I mean, we'll see where it leads out.
Yeah, it's a very old school clear. I used to cringe every time I saw junglers do it. Now that catch-up XP is back into the game, it's not as punishing as it was previously. But they're even going to get a ward down from the Silas having gotten the early shove, so they should be pinging this out. You know that Silas is in the river, which means he's most likely going to leave a ward. So that is going to be the reverse clear, as now they are going to have the Volibear going back, and Kayn is not going to be spotted, so they're going to know that he cleared those camps.
Yeah, a good deep ward up there from Hipate going up. pinging out the missing camps on the top side of the map, knowing that Pengu has to be on the bot side of the map. We're taking it back. I also could see the deep vision that came out from SGR's bot lane. They shoved in the wave and got a good deep vision onto the towards the mid lane for the Raptor camp up for their jungler.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is going to be that is really good communication on the side of SGR, getting as you said those pings down. Now you know those camps are taken, so you know that Volibear is going to be on a slower clear, so Kane is going to have that full 28 CS clip a little bit faster. He can get back on the map and maybe contest the second Wraith camp. But yeah, I like that both teams have gone into the on-enemy jungle and look to get that early vision down. But look at these wards. You see that ward at the top of the thing that has spotted the Volibear as he's walked out.
Yeah, vision spawning. Of course, it is just vision. No kills coming through. Not really any gold advantage at the moment, as both teams have kind of gone for the same kind of clear for the jungle, and from the standpoint the jungle camp's taken at the moment. Although that the Kane does have a camp advantage, both teams have gotten a crab, and there's only one crab camp behind on the side of the Volibear.
And it's interesting that they would opt in to this, but look, that's a lot of damage. The knockup is going to land. He is going to get that damage out, but Kane is going to make that eel over the wall. He could have picked it up, but that is once again going to be a first blood picked up for the side of SGR.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the volatility coming out from the Kane pick. While he does lack a little bit in 1v1, knowing that Volibear will beat him if he ends up finding him in the jungle, the way he's able to path around these lanes and get... Ultimately, like, if he wasn't playing Kane, I don't think that kill would have gone through. Iante probably would have solo killed Apate during that exchange.
Yeah, that was really, really close. And he's been forced to use that teleport back into lane, so he is going to need to get this wave bounced back into his favor as soon as possible. But Kane is going to be teleporting onto the minion. I'm sorry, Silas rather is going to be teleporting onto the minion. So hopefully a freeze is not going to be achieved. But this is not the worst lane stake that could have possibly happened with a kill going over.
Yeah, of course, it will go down to probably the more of the dragon fights where more explosive fights are happening, depending on who gets ganked and when. But I mean, first blood does end up going to the side of SGR.
Yeah, if you notice, based on those early decisions, that the jungle matchup is still Pengu Soldier a camp down, so he is going to be down for the foreseeable future just because of how slow he took those Krugs. And that is something that is a disadvantage. They really need to get this Volibear R in the tool bag because that is going to be one of their big dive tools for this mid game.
Yeah, we'll see where they decide to put pressure on the map. I mean, from the side of RLS, they do have a pushing bot wave, so I would assume that the Volibear would go for the early dragon, as Kane isn't able to do that early game. But I mean, we'll see where it plays out. It'll probably come down to a lot of nerves and knowing how to track the jungler. But I mean, it looks like just a little bit more trade going up on the top side of the map.
Yeah, here we go. This is a lot of damage. Conqueror is procced on the side of Hep, and that is going to be the orange. He's going to be trading back, but now the Kane is in the wall. He's going to have to dodge his W. The flash W is going to come through, so that's another kill picked up onto this orange. And Street Smurf was moving also, so that was just a dead top lane tank in every situation, and they are just leaving him on an island.
Yeah, I mean, after that death, you totally know that that lane is never going to be 1v1. There's 3 members decide to roam up for that time, even though Street Smurf didn't do anything. But I mean, as that gank goes through on the top side of the map, the Volibear has noticed the Kane is on the top side, and with that push earlier from RLS, they will get that Drake.
Yeah, but that is a lot of wasted time from the side of Street Smurf and a lot of minions that have gone over on this, that have been lost on the side of the Ornn. He's going to be in a really, really tough spot. He's not going to have access to those minions for quite a while. Once this lane pushes back out, he's going to need to be calling this Volibear to come up and possibly break a freeze if he can't get that wave into the tower.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little bit easier for the Orianna right now, as she's picked up that water Drake. Even though it isn't the soul or anything big like that, it is one Drake, and it will ease the tension on RLS's laners, especially with that Ornn on the top side and the sustainability he has with Undying Grasp. We'll see if the Kane has made his way down to the bot side, though.
Yeah, let's see if they can do anything here. The dash is going to come through on the side of the Lucian. That's going to be the flash out from the Lulu. She is going to make it out with just the flash having burned, and that is not as bad as that could have been. But look, here's trading in the top lane. Look at this. Ornn ults, they're going to come out from both, but this is just going to be a solo kill. There's no way he can take this fight, and now even with that damage coming in, he's not getting any help. The E is not going to get a knockup. The W is going to be coming up from the Silas, and that's going to be a solo kill in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, a funny little exchange there. 2 Ornn ults coming through. In the end, Ante's health bar is just too low. Ante's health bar is just a little too low. Abate plays out his summoners, his cooldowns just well enough, and I mean, does win the exchange.
Yeah, and this is a consistent problem with RLS. They get I don't want to call it I'll call it drunk man syndrome, where they just constantly double down on every gamble, and it at the moment it's just leading to multiple deaths. And this top side has been something that's been exploited in multiple games in a row. And this is they're gonna need to clean this up in the future weeks.
Definitely need to clean that. The dabbing penguin emote from Pengu Soldier, a classic. But I mean, Street First found his way into this bush.
Now RLS needs to know they cannot take this. Rakana's already here. You know he's on the move, and that's going to be the W landing. Ori's going to take a bunch of damage. Shockwave is not going to go off. Ori is going to be dropping the Street Smurf. Now the chase is on. Are they going to get any more? That's a bunch of damage going on to this Orin. He is tanky. He is not going to die, and Pengu Soldier is going to get knocked up. He's going to fall, and the time is still going through. Look at this. The tower aggro is being juggled, and Silas is going to be the only one who's going to drop as 3 kills are picked up for the side of SGR.
Yeah, I mean, RLS just... I don't think they realized the numbers advantage that SGR had. Essentially, a 4v3 just goes bad for them. Picks up a lot of kills up on the top side of the map, but now sporting a 2.4k gold lead on the side of SGR.
Yeah, the only saving grace is this bot lane that has managed to stay even consistently, and they're doing quite well at the moment. But this top side is just exploding, and they're going to really need to neutralize and hold out until they can get this Jinx enough items to really be of use, because at the moment, I mean, she can't do it all by herself when her front line is going to be so far behind.
Yeah. I mean, Warplaque is taking a lot of damage on that bot side of the map. He is playing, surprisingly playing the weak side of this matchup, despite having the Lucian pick into it. I mean, there's not much you can do into the Jinx Lulu, as you kind of just get poked out and you're outranged. But I mean, well, that's probably going to be RLS's focal point going in, trying to push their bot lane in, trying to get the advantage on the bot side, trying to collect those dragons and stack them, get those favorable fights. But other than that, I think SGR might just start run away with this game pretty soon.
Yeah, it has to be. And here is the Ornn. Ornn is going to be walking up behind him, but man, you're 2 levels behind. There's nothing you can do. The knockup is going to land. The E is going to be get a little bit of cancel, so they're both going to be CC'd. But here comes Kayn. He is going to be in the wall. The Q is not available, but the W is going to get a slow, and that is just going to be stacks landing for the Kayn. But it looks like he is going for that red Kayn, sadly, as he's taking that Conqueror.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a real doozy if he did end up going Shadow Assassin with the Conqueror, but I mean, is going for the safer route, is going to go the Red Kayn. He will be a terror in the late game.
Yeah, that is something that they can look forward to if they can get those items onto Red Kayn. He does still scale quite well. He is one of the better scaling junglers that are possible to be picked. But look at this, as this wave is in a really good spot. This bot lane is really the saving grace. They're going to be quite a bit of CS after this wave. It looks to be around 9 or 10 after this one, and that is going to be where they're going to need to use this pressure.
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds to the Drake spawn. Everybody's setting up vision on the side of SGR. What kind of game pause coming through, though?
Yeah, here is a game pause. Hopefully we will get some intel on what happened. It looks like Demon Lord Nanny is lagging, so he will be heading out of the game. And as we wait for this unpause to occur, which should be happening soon based on what I am hearing, well, how do you feel about the game state that we are in at the moment with 3,000 gold already taking advantage of SGR?
I mean, the gold graph really is telling the story of this game right now. SGR has moved around a little bit better than RLS in these matchups, moved around the map, gotten consistently more members on the opposite sides of the map, and RLS can't really answer that. And if that keeps on happening, I think that RLS is going to keep on losing, especially at this next dragon fight where the gold difference is a lot, as mythic items are starting to come out from the side of SGR.
Yeah, that is going to be quite difficult to navigate, especially now that the champions who are most dangerous are the ones with the gold, the Sylas and the Kayn. And that is really where you're going to want this gold to be on, especially when you consider that they're going to be the big damage sources in this late game, as Lucian tends to fall off in that specific avenue. And SGR, they are doing very well, but we're not going to count RLS just yet. They do have a really strong composition that can scale into the late game quite well, and they're not that far down behind in CS in some of these lanes.
Yeah, definitely not as bad as they could be, especially in their bot lane. I think I'm pretty impressed by the way RLS's bot lane has been carrying themselves in comparison to the other side of the map. Even the mid lane, pretty much going even. If they can get some mythic items going on, I think the fights, unless the Sylas takes over or there's a big combo from SGR, I don't think it'll be that one-sided.
Yeah, their bot lane is playing quite well, and this is going to be something that I hope is a future point of improvement. As they are, I think their bot lane has performed quite well in multiple games in a row now, so they should be the focal point later on. And it looks like that is what they're drafting towards with the Ornn. But I guess the practice would need to come in with Ornn being able to play a little bit safer and not die as much in the top side, so they can let this bot lane do what it can do.
As you talk about that, it looks like the pause has come back through.
Oh, here we go. That's going to be the dash. The Rakan R is going to come through, and Lucian is just going to pick up the Lulu. So much damage. The R from the Lulu was not able to come out. Now they're going to continue to fight. Here comes the kite. Volibear is going to be in trouble as he's going to get slowed. He's going to take a bit of damage. The W is not going to land, and the R out from Volibear has come through. And that is a lost trade for the side of RLS yet again, as a pick has been picked up for the side of Warflag.
Yeah, I mean, you blink and you miss it. PR frozen and Warplaque with that trigger finger. A perfect Rakan just slides through his teammate onto the enemy. Game for Goals does not have the time to even polymorph, doesn't have anything even for the growth. And I mean, with that kill going through, SGR just picks up the next dragon.
Yeah, he was in way more dangers than he realized, as that now is another set of kills getting delivered over. And with a dragon now being picked up, the stacking is on the way, as an Infernal Drake is going to lead to a Mountain Soul being on the map. And if they are managed to pick that up, that is an win condition for both RLS and us SGR.
Yeah, of course. I mean, 1-1 on the Dragons. If RLS does get that Mountain Soul, I can't see this game being very... I mean, either team getting this Mountain Soul is going to be a very tough situation, as both teams only have one Drake. So that does mean they have to get 3 Mountain Drakes, but...
And here we go. That's going to be the getting caught out, and that is going to be a teleport burn. And once again, Volibear is just going to get chunked out of his own jungle. But they need to know. They need to call. They cannot do this. Rakan is on the roam. He is going to be there. This is a 3v4 on this side of the map. They need to realize and not go for this fight, as this is going to be a Rift Herald easily picked up for the side of SGR.
Yeah, I mean, ROS probably noticed as they start going back to their lanes. I mean, Pengu Soldier is farming his jungle camps. The bot line didn't move at all. Just trying to stack as much gold as they can. They know they are not in the driver's seat and is trying to get items and experience as much as they can before the next team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the disadvantages of Lulu. She's a very, very poor roamer. She can go and follow the Rakan, but she's going to have less value generally, at least until 6, until she gets there. So that is going to be the struggle. And now this tower is going to go down. They need to be concerned, as Ornn is going to try to do as much defensing as he can. He's getting a bunch of damage onto the Sylas. The heal is going to come through. Orianna is here. The flash has come out from the Ornn. He's chasing this Sylas. Sylas has no mana. If he can't flash away, he's going to die, but the flash is going to come through. Now Kayn is going to get that extra damage. He's going to get knocked up. He's going to get shockwave. Kayn is flashing away. He's been polymorphed. The R is going to come out. Kayn is trying to escape, but he will not get away, as Orianna is going to pick up the first kill for her of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a little bit more of a miscommunication between SGR. Pate's kind of going in on Iante like a little bit too early, trying to stack up that Conqueror stacks, trying to do as much damage, and ends up taking 2 tower shots and ran out of mana.
Here we go. The fighting has not stopped, as the CC has landed onto the Seraphine. She's going to be running away, and now Volibear is going to be the odd man up. He's going to get eat up by the Sylas. He's going to R in place, so it looks like they're ready to fight. That's going to be the Lulu R being jacked, and the Volibear going down, as Sylas is going to pick it up. Here we go, and that's a dash in from Warplaque. The flash and the heal is going to come out from the Jinx. The W is not going to land, but look, they're just fighting all over the map, as Frozen is going to have to get away.
Yeah, I mean, MK Stream ultimately having to use double summoner spells to get out of that situation probably would have went down if Warplaque had any more mana left, but I mean, does walk away while keeping himself alive and trying to be that strong focal point, that last bastion for the team of RLS.
Yeah, Jinx not dying there is super important, as she's managed to keep up in CS. She's not going to lose too much on this tower from this wave dropping, so this is really going to be on this Jinx in this late game to make a difference. And if that manages to come through, then this could be an even game. If Jinx dies early in the fight, then this is going to be a really quick swing up for SGR.
Yeah. We'll probably see that story unfold in the next minute or so, as the next dragon will be spawning in a minute 30. Looks like SGR is focusing on getting as much experience, trying to get as much deep vision as they can, as ROS it is hard for them to establish vision as they know they are in a losing fashion. They have to bring more members than SGR to these choke points in order to establish vision.
Yeah, and now they are going on to a warding escapade. Look at all these wards that SGR has gotten into this red side jungle. They are prepared and they are ready to fight for this dragon. This will be the next big fight of the game. The items have come through. The Mythic has been completed, so Ornn is not so far behind that he doesn't have his item. He's probably on even footing with this Silas at the moment, and this is going to need to be big, and they're going to need to execute this properly. Here we go. Look at those autos. Those autos have going down. It's going to be the Guardian taken out from the Rakan. And Warplaque has been walking into a lot of these Jinx Ws.
Yeah, I mean, brimming with confidence, Pate tries to go on to the Burbs, but I mean, just a little bit short. The chains miss, the Everfrost misses, and I mean, all's back to normal.
Yes, we have equalized and everything is back as it should be, as this dragon is now being set up. 24 seconds on it, and here comes the Rakanar. This is going to be the engage. That's going to be the double knock-up, and Lulu is going to ult herself. She's going to die, and Warplaque is going to have picked it up. A lot of damage coming down. This could be a trade kill. Warplaque is going to have to flash away from the Jinx R, but he is going to be basing, and they are going to look to have opted out of fighting for this dragon, as a solo kill is going to come on the other side of the map, as Hepet is going to pick it up on this Orianna.
Yeah, I mean, Game for Girls kind of getting caught out there. I mean, really inevitable.
Let's see what happens. That's going to be the E landing onto the Orianna. Shockwave stolen, and W and obliterated as Hepet takes it.
I mean, Hepet eventually just getting onto the on Burbs, and I mean, you really see where that scoreline comes through. Was 3-1 before that kill, but just absolutely demolishes Burbs with that damage.
Yes, the Sombrero is OP, and now the Mountain Dragon is going to be taken on the side of SGR. Another list of advantages. They've accrued such a massive fight lead, being 6k gold ahead already. And even with the disjointed nature of their composition, they have managed to outlane to the point where they are getting some advantages into this mid game, and it's going to be on RLS to make a comeback play at some point.
Yeah, I mean, RLS is slowly getting choked out at this point. SGR pushing their advantage as much as they can. Not really just keeping that tempo up of really just pressuring these RLS members back into their base, farther and farther out of these chokes. And I mean, RLS, I mean, at this point, is just fighting to stay alive.
Yes, they are counting their prayers, and they need to find another avenue in. Let's see if they can manage to overload this top side and do something, as this now, once again, are going to be a group onto this mid lane. Rakana's there. Jinx is going to be by herself. She is going to be a target. You need to be concerned about this Rakan coming from the side of the bush and killing her, and just giving over a Baron that's going to be spawning in 2 minutes.
Of course, I mean, we can see that Baron being spawning up in a minute 40. Probably end up. I mean, I don't think SGR is strong enough to take it as their DPS is actually pretty low. But I mean, we'll probably end up baiting some sort of fight or just somewhere around these chokes. And I mean, if RLS does take the bait, that could possibly mean game for them.
Yeah, that would definitely be, that would just be all she wrote if that does happen. And Ornn is still scaling, so they do still have that. The items are quite far off because of the lack of experience that he has gotten, so that is going to be a slight concern in that respect. And that is going to be a frozen wave, and now Street Smurf's coming in, and there's a lot of pressure coming out from SGR at the moment. And once again, Game for Girls is taking a bunch of damage from Warplaque, and now those autos are coming out from the Jinx. Let's see if she can manage to prevent anyone dying. Demon Lord Nanny, she's going in. That's going to be multiple knockups landing. That's going to be all the damage coming out, as 3 people are just going to be picked up. Oh, actually, is Volibear going to make it out? Street Smurf is by himself. What are you doing, man? He's going to have to flash out. Now Frozen's going to take a bunch of damage, but the R is going to land onto Orianna, and whew, they did everything they can to save Street Smurf, with 2 kills going right over. And it looks like they might not be done. Silas is here. The Sombrero has landed, and that's going to be Silas going in with Volibear. Oh, that tower shut down. 2 more kills dying. Is going to be just the Ornn. He's under the tower. He's by himself. He's going to the gray screen right now, as that's another kill picked up for the side of Lucian, as Street Smurf dies to the tower.
Yeah, I mean, just when you think the fight's over, it just keeps on happening. Street Smurf finds his way around the tier 1 tower, mid tower, ends up getting caught out a little bit after thinking the play's over. Has to force his flash, and the play continues. As I mean, they've used all their CC on Street Smurf, and then the rest of the SGR and gang just show up and just get rid of the rest of the RLS members.
Yeah, there was nothing to do at that point. And now that those kills have fallen over and Baron's available, the next fight like that will just be it. So they need to be concerned about what they can do next. This Silas is huge, and they are gonna need to kill him if they're gonna have a chance at winning any fight in the future. And just so if you haven't noticed, the ultimate is bugged because Riot can't code. And now he has Orianna and Volibear all at the same time. Let's see if he managed to accrue all of them as he continues to steal ults for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, so we talk about the Silas pick a little bit more. I mean, it is a known counter pick somewhat into the Ornn. But I mean, we see from the items, he does have a 10-stack Dark Seal. It will be interesting if he decides to finish that and go Magi's, actually. As he's so far ahead already.
Yep, he's definitely ahead, and he is going to be a big carry moving on. Let's see if they manage to find anything else that can go wrong or go right with RLS, because they do have avenues to come back. They have a ton of damage from their team fight composition. If Jinx manages to not die instantly, she still can carry. So she has flash available. There's flash on these bot laners, and maybe that's all they need to come back in one of these fights.
Yeah, we'll see how they play. I mean, SGR is kind of just setting up their vision for this next dragon. You could totally see what they're going for, trying to choke RLS out of really any vision game that they can get, making them face check into these bushes. And I mean, if it's a fair 5-on-5 fight, I really can't see RLS winning right at the moment, just due to the goal difference.
Yep, and that is going to be a struggle. Look, Silas is just going to be tanking and doing all this damage. Look at that huge chunk onto the Volibear. Now the Ornn ult is going to come through. They are just going to ult each other. Ornn's going to flash away. Silas is just tanking the tower. He is going to be in trouble, and Jinx Rock is going to snipe him, and that's a shutdown for the side of Jinx.
Downtown. I mean, both top laners really just faking each other out, calling in the Ornn horns, both flashing. But I mean, on the side of RLS, they've got numbers on that side of the map.
Boom, and he's gone, and now this is going to be the next look. They could fight here. This could be the comeback. Are they going to find the angle? Rakan is going to get the W. The R from the Volibear. He's going by himself, though. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. The Shockwave's only going to land on one. That's going to be a double. Big ultimate from the side of Seraphine. Lucian is going ham. Everyone's dying. Who's going to fall next? Now Pengu is going to be getting chased down. Well, that's going to be the Ross getting those kills. Jinx is by herself. She's flashing away. She's trying to kite. She's knocked up. Lucian's going to crit her down, and that is going to be another kill given over. Ornn's by himself. Let's see if they can do it. They do not have a lot of damage left. Rakan is going to be basing, and that's going to be all. And everyone's going to be left bruising and bloody, and Ornn's the only survivor.
Yeah, I mean, SGR doesn't care. They just dive you underneath that tower, juggling the aggro. And I mean, 4 members of RLS come down, and they just end up 6 feet under.
Yeah, poor Jinx, man. 2 autos a fight is all she's getting, as that is the it before she is just dead. And now with this dragon spawning and another Infernal Mountain Drake going over, they're going to be even harder to kill.
Definitely is the case. I mean, the gold lead has grown to about 9k at the moment, and Baron is up. RLS is a little bit too weak to go contest. But I mean, if they don't, this might very much well be their last stand.
Yes, it is time. They need to channel their abs. They need to get everything ready, pull their 300 fight scene, and this is everything that they can do to try to pick up this last fight, as now SGR should be grouping for this Baron. They need to prevent it from going down. RLS is getting those wards cleared out. Pengu is there, but it is just him. He's the only one who really can walk up and even look for here. Now you have a cut out Orianna. She is going to dodge as much as she can. She's going to be in trouble. And let's see if, as the camera trolls this, we don't know if she made it out. Looks like she did. Now Ornn is trolling with Silas. They're going to be fighting and giving each other a small bit of damage. And Silas is going to be walking out, but he needs to be concerned. If this R lands, he could be in trouble. Look at all that healing. The percent health damage from the Ornn is just doing all the damage. Silas is doing everything he can to survive, but here comes the shields. Here comes everything. The rocket's going to land again. Beautiful accuracy, and Silas is just going to one-shot the Orianna. He's not done. Is the W going to come up in time? It is. Look at all that damage. Herp is doing everything he can, and the double thing from the Q is going to pick it up as Silas has done a magic, killed both solo laners.
And the whole time on the top side of the map, SGR has been getting Baron during that whole exchange, and they just grab it.
Baron for the top laner's life. The tale is old as time, as now they're going to be grouping around this bot and mid to see if they can get any towers after all those kills.
Yeah, I mean, SGR is really looking to push their advantage, despite their top laner being down. Does have teleport, are shoving in the top and mid lane waves. Not really scared of what's to happen to them. If these last 3 members are kind of circling around the mid lane.
Yeah, they're just circling. They're just shark smelling blood. The game is in their hands. Are they going to be able to get this war? Now look at this. This is a 2v4. What are you doing, Frozen? He's going to get all. He's going to get out. That's going to be both E's landed. Look at the flash. The flash is going to land on Solution. His dash is down. He's going to take a bunch of damage. Warplack's going to fall. Lulu's going to pick it up. Frozen is going to be taking auto after auto, but now they are going to have to fight on the back. Look at Kane. He's gotten the knockup. He's by himself. Gay for Girls is gonna fall. Volibear is gonna get all the look. 3-man charm. Jinx is going to get caught and die. Is this gonna be where it all ends? Where it all wraps up? That's gonna be another kill picked up by the Silas. He is huge. That's a quadra kill. Are they gonna give him the pentakill? He's walking right, or is trying to get away. That's gonna be the root landing, and that's gonna be and Street Smurf jacks the penta, as that is a disgusting play. Disgusting, man. BM this man for the rest of his life, as now that should be the game wrapping up with this Baron buff push.
Yeah, I mean, what looks like a troll engage, well, I mean, what looks like one was a troll engage, turns into a favorable situation from SGR as RLS goes a little bit too deep. Silas almost picking up the pentakill. Street Smurf, scumbag Street Smurf, picking up the last final kill, but it looks like SGR is kind of marching into their base.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Silas will get another opportunity. He's going to go in with the Volibear ultimate. Lulu is going to take a bunch of damage. Jinx is charmed up. He's going to drop another kill for the Silas. He's gotten one. Kane's going to pick up one, so sadly won't be a pentakill, but that could still be a multi. And now Ori is going to be back onto the base. He's going to have to run. Let's see. Come on. This is turbo inting. Let's get all these deaths out. Now that's going to be sitting onto their tower. There's nothing else that can be gotten. Sadly, we will not see anyone else drop for the rest of the game, as this is going to be wrapped up by SGR. Or did I speak too soon? A bunch of damage. That is going to be even at the end. The E is going to snipe the Orianna, and that is going to be a 14-3 showcase for the Silas, as SGR has picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, this game really just happened to come down to individual playmaking and a macro decision. Not to say that RLS's comp wasn't good in the sense, I mean, this Orin was able to fight back Silas for a lot of the game. Even when he was down 4 kills with 0-4, it was a pretty even trade, but the difference was the communication coming through and when to dive these certain lanes to put the pressure on playing these vision games, and in the end, RLS was just showed up short in comparison to SGR.
Absolutely. A quick sum of the game. RLS struggled to find any avenue in. SGR controlled the game for level 1. Immaculate play from this top laner, showing a quite versatile champion for as he's taken this Silas into a counter matchup and performed. And Street Smurf still is going on his escapades of trying to be the best anime betrayal character we have, as he wants to be back in his villain role. And what a well played game, and I cannot wait to hear from them, as in just a moment we can go into our interview.
Hello, folks. Sorry about that delay, but we are joined now by Hepet, the victorious but spurned Silas in the top lane, just shy of a penta, my man. How was that banger of a game for you?
Pretty fun game, to be honest. It was really fun playing against the top laner I faced. Remember first time I played, I was like kind of I was like kind of bored because like there's a huge skill disparity, but landing phase was really fun versus him, so I give him a big props to him.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about what you came into this game with. We had just come out of the game with the Juggernaut, and we see Seraphine show up again in the mid lane, and
Yep.
excuse me. So anyway, you guys have the Seraphine in your composition, but you are in fact the standout star. How did it feel to play out this game, especially with you were actually going rather toe to toe with Anti? It was kind of fun to watch you guys going at it. What was this game like for you?
This game was like we know, like for the skill, like I said earlier, the skill disparity is really high. So like we're really confident on what we want to do, and we want to really try to play really more aggressive and try to learn how like, to push limits nonstop. And Seraphine broken. Sorry. So like in general, it's fun to have also carry centric comps, because it's really where I feel like I'm really like in the zone, like playing strong side and everything, and being sure like because I'm really way confident on shot calling with Warplake, and we're just like both in perfect synergy.
Well, let me talk a little bit more about the greater look at the league. Today, we did just have Udyr pick up another win. You guys do advance to more or less tie with them in that sort of second echelon behind Tub.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about where you guys are headed in this league, given that we're headed towards playoffs towards the end here?
To be honest, it's pretty. We're pretty confident. We're starting to be really more and more learning about how we play and how we adapt from game plan to game plan. We really start like to be more responsive. Before it was more like it was really hard to like with the synergies, but the more we play, like our bot lane starts to really get like a good hang of playing with their pressure and pushing vision. Same for top side. I had some difficulties before with Nanoy and like playing his playstyle, but like since I just been spamming VOD reviews and looking how he plays, it's just like really confident for the next for the next games of the league, and I'm pretty sure team should be careful, because some might think like we're playing like solo queue, but they're getting gapped, most of them. So
well, there is a famous saying in London: "Mind the gap, folks. Mind the gap." So I think look out for SGR going forward. Hepet, thank you for joining us for an interview. Do you have any final words before we step away to the lounge?
Yeah, if you have any infos on where I can find Street Smurf, any address, IP, I'll be thankful for that. Because I have a little trying to sorry.
All right, reported Riot. Find this man, get this man. And folks, don't go anywhere though. We do have the lounge coming up next, so don't go away.